Hi everybody, it's Janet with Fruit of the Vine Art Studio here. I'm so pleased to have you with me this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me just pull it up here on the computer real quick. That way when you jump on, I'd just love it if you'd say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Yeah, let me kind of tilt this light. One of the lights here is really bright on my eye. Okay, there we go. I think that's that. No, I'm not sure. Anyway, tell me where you're watching from. I'd really appreciate it. I want to sit this over here out of the way. Tonight, I'm going to do sort of a variation. Scoot my little chair up here. A variation on what I did last week when I did the cross on the hill, the old rugged cross, and I did it in the oil pastels. This week, I'm going to do some acrylics, and I'm going to do it in a sort of in a different way. And it's going to be a different painting, obviously. So I'm going to tilt you down, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let me get some stuff out of the way. And I'm going to zoom you up a little bit and get you out of the crazy zone of all the stuff that's all over the place here. There, that looks good, I think, right there. That looks like you can see it all from right there. I try to look at it on the computer screen and on the phone to see if everybody's basically seeing the same thing I am. Now, if you were with me also last week, I did on Saturday, if you were with me on Saturday, this is what we did. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. We this is a 3D cross. You can see how it's got these different pieces that are kind of sitting up and higher on it right here than the ones down in there. It's got all these pretty little pieces that go with it. These are kits that I have if you're interested in these, and they can be painted in many, many different ways. This is $35 a kit. Comes with 13 paint pots of different colors and 3 paint brushes. It's 12-inch wooden cross, and it comes with little pieces that you glue on. They're really very pretty. Okay, anyway, let's get started with this. I'm going to be using a few different colors here today. I'm going to start off with a primary yellow, and I'm just going to put some yellow. I'm just going to put me some yellow right along through here. And then I'm going to get me some pumpkin orange. And I'm going to put a little pumpkin orange right along through there. Got some magenta. Going to add some of that right along there. I have got some purple iris that I'm going to put along. Whoop. It's got little crummies coming off the top of it. It hasn't been that long since I've used it, really. Right there, and then I have a dark blue that I'm going to add. I think I got a little too much of the purple on there, but we'll see how this works. Now, I am going to take my chip brush. Let me see, I've got this little fella here. I'm sure he'd do fine. I'm going to take my little chip brush and I'm going to dip him in the water just to get him wet, and I'm going to squeeze the excess water off. Give it a little shake. And then I'm going to start down here in this yellow area, and I'm just going to work my way right up into this. I'm just going to keep moving upward with the colors. I got a little hair in there. Let me get that to come off over here on the side. Let me pull it off. There we go. Don't particularly want that in there. We'll try to pull that out. Get a little purple up in here. And then we're going to get this darker blue up at the top. That just kind of blended it all in as it went up. Now I want a little bit more of a blend, so I'm going to wipe this off. And I'm just going to come right in here and work this down into the yellow a little bit. And then bring this back up and work this pink into the purple a little more. I'm going to do some figure eights, working down and back up. just to get a better blend in the colors in the sky here. So now we've got our sky background. See how by just doing the figure 8, it pulled more of the color together to give it more of an actual sky background to it, as opposed to just this gradient of yellow, orange, pink, purple, and blue. It actually pulled it across. Let's get a little bit of color right there. We can even put a little bit of this darker color in these areas here. You can go just a little bit of, tap a little bit in here, and that'll look like a cloud. Just tap a little bit right across through here. And that kind of gives you a cloud effect on there. See how that's looking now? Here, it's getting away from me. Okay, I'm going to put this brush down for a moment, and I'm going to wipe this extra paint off of my paper here so that I can set this back down and it won't continue to make a huge mess as I move it around. Okay, so now we've got our background done. Let me just turn my paper towel inside out. Since I got purple everywhere now, it's all over my hands, it's everywhere. But I love how it looks. And isn't that sort of the important part of it, isn't it? Now the last part, once I get this here to dry just a little bit, maybe I should just turn on my hair dryer here and give it a quick, oh goodness, is it stuck? It's stuck in there. Well, you can definitely hear the chimes, can't you? That's for sure. Let me pull this around through there. Let's see if it'll come on. There we go. Get it away from the wind chimes. Sorry about that. Hey, Steve, I see that there. Thank you for commenting. I just flung that up on there. Okay. Blew everything off, too. Everything around me went flying. One of those rare times when I hadn't actually put any paint on the palette. Here, maybe that's better. That was awfully loud. I'm just wanting to dry this yellow a little bit better. I'm not too worried about this upper area of the sky. Bear with me a moment. Maybe it was better on high. It was faster anyway. Okay. That looks good to me. That looks like that's pretty well dry. Sorry about that. Let me drop that there and grab my paper towel that went flying off. Okay. Not going to worry about the rest of that. That was just a paper plate. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this burnt umber. I'm going to take some burnt umber. Hey, Carol. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate that. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. Going to get that same brush. Work some of that off of there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to work it across. Just like this. I'm going to bring it up into here a little bit. And then let me turn it. I'm going to turn it around this way. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to flick it up. From the bottom, I'm just dragging my brush up from the bottom so that I can get some grass effect down here at this bottom of the grass. This is going to be the ground. And this little chip brush is just pulling it up for me. See how simple that worked? Now I've got all these really cool little grassy looking effects down in there. Isn't that neat? All I did was took this little chip brush and just pulled up from the bottom. They really can do some wondrous stuff. Very, very inexpensive little brush. You do not have to spend a lot of money on expensive brushes to make great looking stuff. You can do it with brushes that are, I mean, you know, chip brushes, you can get these for $1. You can get them at the Home Depot. You can buy them at the dollar store. Okay, now I'm going to take this brush right here, just my regular little flat brush. Can you see him? I think you can. Just a little flat brush. There you go. Now you see it. I'm going to take my little flat brush. Where did my little palette go? Oh, I'm going to grab this paper plate that I blew off over here. And I'm going to put just a little bit of the brown umber on here. And I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to go about right in here. And I'm just going to bring this up. Coming up out of the grass. Get a little bit more, and I'm going to work my way down just a little bit because I want it to have a nice color to it here, a nice thick color. So about right here, I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm going to bring it across at a slight angle. Just like that. Now, what I'm going to do different, this time I'm going to do another cross. It's going to come from right here. Oop, I'm taking up too much of the paint. I'm going to bring some more from the bottom up. And get my little chip brush and I'll go over this area again down here. Bring that up. And then you want to make this in the same angle as you made that one. There we go. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Going to be about right here. We're going to just pull it up. I'm going to try to get it about to the same height as this one over here. So it's about to right there. I'm going to put just a little touch there so I can see it. Bring it back down here. Ooh, when I bring it down, it's like it pulls up on that brown real bad right there. And the yellow. There we go. Doing the same thing again. The same angle. There we go. Now we've got the three of them there. I'm going to make this one. just a little bit wider. Stand out a little better. There we go. Now, I'm gonna rinse that off. Get this one again. Get me a little more of this brown. Flip this around again. I'm gonna do what I did before. I'm just gonna pull this up down here at the bottom of these crosses, just to blend that in better, so that you don't see where I started to pull from. Okay. Get my little brush again. Get me a touchy yellow. I'm trying to get just a touch to come out. Over here whomping it on the table. Bam! That's the way to do it. Let's see. I'm looking at it upside down. He looks like he's tilted just a little bit too much, doesn't he? Just a little bit too much. Okay. I'm looking at it on the computer screen, trying to see it on the computer screen. It's a little high on that end. Okay. So we're going to just take it. No, I don't know. That doesn't look like that's going to work how I wanted it to. Let me just... Maybe... Maybe I can get it to do what I wanted it to do. Not with that brush. Sorry, not with that brush. Come here, you. You may. That yellow may be just a little thick for that too. And we need you to actually tilt this way. This right across the top. Get me more of that. Gonna have that sun sort of reflecting off of that. Make this come up this way a little bit more. Coming down the side. Down the side right here. You just got the reflection of that bright sun. And it does not have to be a pretty straight line at all. It's reflecting off of the wood, right? And I'm just getting brown mixed in it and rubbing it up on my palette over there. Not stressing about it. Because I know it's going to look good when it's done. I'm not worried about that. Okay, let's bring this one over just a little bit at the top. Bring this right across the top of there. There, that's better. Here. I'm getting brown on me. Just pulling it, trying to pull it straight down the side here and just commit to the line. Just commit to the line and just go with it. Sometimes that's hard to do when your hand's trying to go wonky. When your hand's going wonky, it's hard to do. Okay. Right across the top of this one. Put this at an angle. See, we're tricking it. We're making it have an angle where it didn't. Pull that right down the side. Across this top. There we go. Down this side. Just like that. Make this a little less wonky. I'm adding a little more burnt umber right in here. Making this just a little less wonky. I'm just dipping back and forth. There we go. Yeah. From what I see, that looks pretty good from right here. From what I'm seeing, looking at the camera. I think I'm gonna leave it alone right like that. And I don't want to keep adding and wonking it up anymore. I've got this line over here is really, really pretty whacked. Is that a little better? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop before I mess it up anymore. I like how it looks. So let me just come down here with some yellow. Just put my initials down here at the bottom. And we're going to call this a done deal. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it turned out pretty. I really like it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will see you again real soon. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much for those napkins. I am so happy with those, and I'm looking forward. I'm going to find me something to do with that. I've got a really pretty bottle, I think, that I'm going to put those rabbits on. We'll see, though. I'll come up with something. Thank you. Bye now.